Good morning, folks. Welcome to the Dr. Kent Show. This is number 22. It's the 8th of January, just before noon. I didn't have a very good night last night. And I do have a message from you. It is my analysis. So don't go around telling me that I claimed Yahweh told me to say something to you, because he didn't. I get spoken to from the environment, and I need to break this bad news to you. Have you ever heard of COINTELPRO? Counterintelligence Program. A counterintelligence program is usually one that they sneak in there to give a counterpunch. And in this case, I'm going to tell you that a lot of you have been misled by these guys who claim that there are white hats doing things in the background. They even claim that people have been tried, they've been executed, and they've had to put body doubles in there to hold their places while they proceed with their program. And they can't reveal any of it to you because it's all being done by the military. I'm going to tell you right now, that's bullshit. The entire thing has been weaponized against us. Our military, every aspect of it is against us. The Department of Defense is using their most advanced weapons, their most advanced weaponry on the people. It's not our Department of Defense. It's a War Department for the guys that run the planet today. Nobody's coming to save you. There are no white hats that are going to step forward out of the shadows finally and make the great announcements. It's not going to happen. All have been, the word escapes me, but all have been turned against us, including those that you insist upon worshiping. Those you insist are good. They aren't, folks. They've all been turned. They've all been not just marginalized, but they've all been bought out and sold out. You need to realize that. There are no white hats. Now, I got a second part of this for you. Some of you want me to read into your lives, if you will, give you a read down. So I'm going to tell you what my wages are going to be. My wages are, you buy one of my Bibles and you read it. When you're done reading it, then call me. But that's the deal. I don't expect you to memorize it. I don't expect you to learn most of it. But I expect you to be able to talk about it intelligently. I expect you to know the names of the characters, the plot, or what you think is the plot. You see, religion is one of those three great evil things that came out of the dragon's mouth, I believe it was in Revelations. Religion, education, and government. A trinity of evil. There's all kinds of trinities of evil in the Bible, and there's a trinity of good too. But I got to tell you something. We pretty much invented the trinity of good. The trinities of evil are what the evil ones have put off on us and put into the Bible. So you need to understand my wages. You buy one of my Bibles. I don't get paid very much off it. Do yourself a favor. Get the biggest one. Biggest print, 14 point. And get the tabs. Splurge a little bit. Spend on yourself. If you get the standard size Bible and add the tabs to it, it costs you $7 more. You get the large print Bible and add tabs to it, it costs you $5 more. It's a deal. It's a bargain. Prices are subject to change at any time. The links below, there are 5 different formats. This is the best Bible since the King James Bible of 1611. You need to understand something. The New World Order, as you want to call it, the one world government, which is more accurate to call it, that's been here for a while. And we're all under it right now. Most of you are mesmerized. Some of you think that you live in the land of the free and the home of the brave. Man, you talk to the military guys that have gone abroad, and they'll tell you the truth. Like Bin Laden, Osama Bin Laden, getting executed, that was a fraud. That was to get Barack Obama reelected. The man died from kidney disease a lot earlier than that. Not only that, he, just like our president at the time, Barack Hussein Obama, were both CIA. You need to understand this is a big problem, and it's not going to go away, and the cavalry are not going to come and save us. You are the last resort. So as Yahshua, who you call Jesus erringly, Yahshua, the Messiah, who you call the Christ, I can accept that. It's actually in this modern Bible. He's called the Christ once by one of the apostles, and they're called Christians once, and there's another mention of Christians again, or a Christian, by Festus, when he tells Paul, well, you almost convinced me to be a Christian son of a bitch. You need to think of it in those terms. You see, it was not a polite term. It was basically a racial slur, and they did not call each other Christians. They were first called Christians at Antioch by the pagans who despised them and looked down at them. And you all have a weird religion, and I got to admit I'm an Old Testament kind of guy. I'm just really coming aboard on the New Testament. I find it difficult, especially the writings of Paul. I will admit that. Paul and I got a problem. So you want me to do a favor for you, a service for you. Now, I'm not licensed as a psychologist in any jurisdiction. I refuse to be under their thumb. They're a bunch of communists, mother you-know-whats. They are. Oh, and by the way, Jordan Peterson, Dr. Peterson, my message to you is very simple. Lose the license. You don't need them. They need you. You validate that board up in your provinces. And once you're free of that, you'll be able to talk freely, and you can criticize them as you should. Our profession, we're the ones that have been running a plantation for the masters, for the evil ones. It is a horrible profession. We have misled the masses. We have fed them bad stuff, bad science. They're going to take your license. It's up to you to figure out how to handle yourself on that. I'm going to tell you, I'm amazed you've had it this long. Anyone who becomes public loses their license. Go ask Dr. Phil. Go ask some of the other psychologists. We're no longer allowed to call ourselves psychologists because it's some sort of dumb law. But in case you're wondering, we can practice without a license in the United States. The Supreme Court ruled that we did not have to have a license to practice our professions. And I think that you probably have enough going on with you. So what do you want with a stupid license anyway? With a stupid permission slip? Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I wish that I had it. I can't get a job without one. But I'm called to a higher cause, as I think you are. And mine was really simple. 2006, I got 2 strokes. Part of that was due to the board and their pressure on me. Bunch of jackasses. Actually, there were a couple of nice people on the board. There really was. There was a very bright woman out of Tucson who actually had some compassion. She had trouble with what they were doing to me. There was another fellow who became president of the board, a Negro fellow. I hate the term African American. I got African American friends that are whiter than I am. It's a misnomer. No such thing as a hyphenated American anyway. He actually handled it better than the rest of the board did. Man had common sense. He was smarter than the rest. And then there was another woman who came up on the board who had been on it before. And she said she couldn't understand it. Well, why was I not given the license back? She was thinking properly. And I guess nobody took her aside and told her that they had targeted me. So I've covered 3 things for you, but the main thing is that there are no white hats. It's bovine excrement. Nobody's coming to save you or I. It's not going to happen. The entire military has been turned against us. Yes, it doesn't look like that because they're not, using artillery, cannons, and guns. The police are using guns. The sheriffs are using guns. All of the law enforcement are using guns. And they tried to give guns to the different departments of the federal government, including the IRS agents. Heck, the IRS agents, they were even going to give FNP 90, selectable fire automatic machine guns, which you or I are not allowed to own because of that infringement. I think that is an infringement. Fully autos were part of our history. Go look at Lewis and Clark. It goes back that far. I need you to like my videos. I need you to buy my Bibles. I need comments. I need guidance. I need suggestion, encouragement. I don't have a lot of time. I know that. I'm in the middle of getting worked up, and I just know that, I don't have much time to get my job done. And what is my job? I invite you to my other channel. I only have half the subscribers there, and it's called Awakening Israel. If you want to get your country back, you got a real problem. You see, this is an unlimited war against us. They do whatever the hell they want. They spike our food, they spike our clothes, they spike our water, they spike our air. They spike the metal in the pots and pans, and they've even figured out how to spike the damn glass technology and the stuff we cook with now. So we're constantly exposed to toxins. In case you're wondering, they spike Cheerios and infant soy formula, and they still might do it today with excessive manganese. Not magnesium, manganese. And what does that cause? Autistic spectral disorders and bipolar disorders. And basically, there's no discrete categories. They're all overlapping. So basically, it causes mental illness. It's got a physical basis. It is not a conspiracy. It is a war. They fight biochemical, electrical, nuclear, psychological, and the fact is, you're stuck fighting back psychologically. These bastards were given power by Yahweh, Creator Father, because of you and me screwing up. Because of our nation screwing up. We've allowed ourselves to be turned into Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what God did to Sodom and Gomorrah? Tune into my other shows. Read the Bible. It's all in there. Okay, folks. I've gone a little over 13 minutes. I'm going to call it to a close. You want your republic back? You're going to have to fight. In order to fight it, you're going to have to read your Bibles because you have no grounding. You have no center. You have no basis upon which to fight and no basis upon which to think clearly to begin to fight. You can't even recognize who the hell your enemy is. And we all underestimate this enemy, including me. Now, there's a wonderful book, by the way. It was published recently. I have it up on the screen here. And see if I can pull in this quote, because I don't like the guy that's cited in this thing, but they cited him properly. So all of these presidents actually say some good stuff at some point, even though they're all pretty much evil bastards, as far as I'm concerned. Where is it? Aha! Here's the citation on the cover, the first page of this book. The worst thing you can do in life is underestimate your adversary. I did that when they went after me in the Arizona Department of Corrections and the women ganged up on me. I didn't think they could be that evil, that wicked, that mean. But they did it, and they will do it. And by the way, President William J. Clinton quoted as saying that on CBS News, March 31st, 1999. We have underestimated our enemy. The enemy is in the gates. It's not just inside our boundaries, but the gates refer to the places of power, judgment, the courts. Courts were held at the gates in ancient Israel. So just reading down the sections on this book are just amazing. I got a PDF copy. F. Tupper Saucy. The man is just incredible. And I believe I'm in violation of copyright by downloading this thing. I'm not going to put it up. I'm not going to share it with anybody. I got to take a look at this for myself. And it basically, the rulers of evil. And it actually covers the United States of America today. Useful knowledge about governing bodies. You ever go to your state's capital? You ever look and see what's on top of the state capitol? Do you recognize that statue that's ruling over, that's above your state capitol? You don't know who rules over you. You want to know who rules over you, or you want to know world history in a picture? Go to my blog, givingpsychologyaway.com, and look at the last tab of pages on the home page there. It says world history in one picture. Go look at that, and then you'll know what the hell the Ukraine's about. Ditch Mitch the bitch. Yahweh bless the Republic and all those who stand for the Republic. And be careful. There's a lot of wolves among us. I don't trust any of these folks. And we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Our founders gave us a very good form of government. We merely have to go back to it. And that's all we can agree to do anyway. That's all that we are going to agree. However, I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to get nuked. That's just the way it is with these bastards in D.C. Joe Biden has appointed some really bad people. If you look at the heads of all these things that are involved with this crap that's been going around, you will see that they have specific characteristics about them. And I don't want to go into it because we're keeping this video short. Yahweh bless.